We go now to the business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. A voice familiar to most Jamaicans. On June 30, stood before world dignitaries to deliver a message born from lived experience as the former Minister of Finance of one of the true economic recovery success stories of the modern age, represented not only the realities of the land of his birth, but also the shared challenges of nations across the globe who have found themselves in a similar situation, yet remain eager to embark on a new journey as the demands of development in this age urge profound financing shifts.
Your Majesties, the King and Queen of Spain, President of the Conference, Prime Minister Sanchez, United Nations Secretary General Guterres, President of the General Assembly, President of ECOSOC, Excellencies and authorities, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today on behalf of the International Monetary Fund.
An organization that many Jamaicans will admit has inspired mixed reactions, having experienced debt that once exceeded 140% of GDP, that is this year expected to go below 70%, after a long and arduous journey that has allowed Jamaica's development agenda to gain new perspective and purchase, not just locally, but internationally, in what are particularly trying times.
Once again, the resilience of the world economy is being tested. Uncertainty is escalating as major policy shifts reshape countries' priorities. And despite progress that has been made on trade talks and the scaling back of some tariffs, trade policy uncertainty indicators are off the charts.
Uncertainties in global trade dynamics, conflicts in multiple arenas, and of course the challenges of climate change adaptation and energy insecurities among them.
This has major implications for developing countries for whom risks have grown. Risks to short-term and long-term growth, risks of tightened financing conditions, and, yes, risks to their development agenda.
One which the attendees at the 4th International Financing for Development Conference, hosted by the UN in Seville, Spain, were provided additional insight to from the IMF Deputy Managing Director.
This is why this conference is so important and so timely. It provides an opportunity to take decisive and necessary steps to accelerate development progress. And these steps must be taken both at the individual country level, but also at the international community level.
And thirdly,
let me stress 3 critical priorities, 1 at the country level and 2 at the international level. First priority at the country level: implement strong domestic reforms. In an uncertain economic environment, the work to advance development must begin at home. And let me point to 2 sets of critical reforms within this first priority. First, domestic revenues remain the bedrock of country-led efforts for sustainable growth and development. Many countries can boost resources available to them by broadening the tax base and improving compliance. And secondly, by building strong public financial management systems, they can redirect spending to sectors like health and education and well-targeted social safety nets and growth-enhancing public investments. At the international level, ensure that support is coordinated and tailored. Development partners must help with policy advice, capacity building, and financial support. And to be effective, assistance should be tailored to countries' individual circumstances and challenges. Indeed, while developing economies have many characteristics in common, there are key differences in their economic conditions. The needs of the poorest and most fragile countries in particular, who are often the hardest hit by global shocks demand our attention. And for those countries, concessional financing remains of critical importance.
Not as a buzzword, but as a true characteristic of those determined not just to survive, but thrive in a rapidly changing world.
The international community must further improve debt restructuring processes to ensure that countries with unsustainable debt have access to timely and sufficiently deep debt relief. We have already seen progress under the Common Framework and at the Global Sovereign Debt Restructuring Roundtable. And the recently published Sovereign Debt Restructuring Playbook is an important resource for countries considering a restructuring. But, Excellencies, there is still much more work to do. The IMF is doing its part in supporting developing countries. Through our tailored policy advice, we help our members make their economies more vibrant and more resilient. And we will continue to strengthen our analysis and guidance on monetary, fiscal, exchange rate, and financial sector policies. Through our capacity development, we'll continue to help equip our members with tools and expertise to chart their own path, working in close collaboration with development partners.
A pulse being monitored diligently and responsively according to Dr. Clarke.
Last fall, we reformed our concessional lending framework to double its lending capacity while restoring its self-sustainability. And we will continue to explore ways to strengthen our precautionary facilities and ensure that our programs are well designed. The IMF will remain a trusted partner and champion of the international development agenda. Together, we can help bring our members towards a brighter future.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.